Picture this. You're on your phone, endlessly scrolling, when suddenly a notification pops up. It's time to be real, and you have exactly 2 minutes to capture what you are doing at that very moment. BeReal was created to be the opposite of other social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. It was created to show authenticity, taking 2 pictures, one with the front camera and one with the back camera, showing exactly what you were doing at that moment in time. It's not uncommon to be walking around TCU's campus when students suddenly shout, "It's time to be real," and begin to take their photos, ready to post what they are up to. In order to see your friends' BeReals, a user must first post their own BeReal. This entices users to participate themselves. So, with a mission that's founded on being the opposite of Instagram, is there room for brands on BeReal? How can brands utilize this new social media tool and stay relevant? Brands cannot buy ad space on BeReal. They also cannot link back to a web page. Click-through rates cannot be tracked, and the most relevant KPIs are unapplicable. Some brands, like Chipotle and Elf, use BeReal in order to reward extreme fans with discount codes in a model that revolves around exclusivity. But is this the only way for businesses to use the app? Meet Agency Habitat, an advertising agency in Fort Worth that has used BeReal on their LinkedIn to stay relevant in the social conversation. Agency Habitat created their own BeReal template for their employees to use in order to stay up to date in the social conversation. They don't actually have their own account, but needed to find a way to stay relevant with the trend. While we were unable to chat with someone at Habitat, we were able to chat with an art director at Lerma, another advertising agency based here in Dallas. Meet Jillian Morrison, an art director at Lerma, who chatted with us about how she can see BeReal being used in this industry. Hi, Jillian. Can you tell us what your position is at Lerma and also tell us what Lerma is?
Okay, so Lerma is an advertising agency in Dallas, and I'm an art director, which means that I work with clients to concept on advertising and different socials and just different projects that they could utilize.
Have you heard about BeReal?
Yes,
Do you personally use BeReal?
yes, I do.
Does Lerma have any clients who use BeReal, or does Lerma as an agency utilize BeReal?
Not that I'm aware of.
So, as an art director who is responsible for coming up with concepts for clients, do you see any of your current clients having a use for BeReal in their campaigns?
I think a couple of them could, but I work with a lot of like very corporate clients that most likely wouldn't. But I think that if they were like to kind of want to reach out to a younger audience, they could. It's a great way to kind of grab the attention of different ages, but for the most part, not the clients that I work with.
From your perspective, do you think it could be beneficial for a brand to get on BeReal, even though there's no direct monetary value that could come from their presence on the app?
I think it is only if they utilize it in a way that kind of is shown through other medias, because just being on it doesn't really do anything. I know of companies that have used it and kind of created posts on Instagram and Facebook just kind of to show that they're on it with posts or the pictures that come from it with the both angled photos. But usually just being on it probably wouldn't do much because a lot of times people, when they're on it, they only share with like very close friends.
Mhm.
So a lot of people wouldn't be connected with them through it.
Do you think that your clients are even aware that BeReal exists?
For the most part, I would assume not.
Do you think there is a brand persona or a specific type of brand that would do really well on BeReal?
I think that much younger brands, brands that kind of just have a touch into the more Gen Z society, a lot of clothing stores could do it. But most part, it has to have a connection to Gen Z and more younger millennials, just because other generations won't understand it and won't understand the hype behind it and what it means
Mhm.
to be on Be Real. But I think that it's definitely something they could utilize.
Who would be your dream client to pitch getting on BeReal?
Weirdly, I think Disney would be really funny. I think they could use it with their cast members. I don't know why. I just think that that'd be a really fun opportunity. I think about this all the time because of all the things that you see the cast members doing and how they're utilizing them a lot more in social media. I think similar brands to them as well, like that really highlight their kind of employees, like Target and Walmart, stuff like them would be really great to utilize that kind of showing their everyday aspects of their employees through BeReal because it's really just showing a snapshot in the day.
My last question for you is with Be Real being sort of the anti to Instagram, do you see it as a fad or do you see it as a long-term social media that could continue for a while?
I mean, honestly, it's hard to tell just because things go in and out so easily, and things that you would think will go out, and things you think will go out won't. I think it's been a good break for people on Instagram because it's so much about staying away from just the everyday of having to kind of really think about what you're posting and think about looking good and having the right saying and all of that. It's just about being kind of genuine. So it's a good break from that. And I kind of would hope that it would stay and that we kind of utilize that more in every day. But honestly, who knows? In a year, it might be totally out and no one's thinking about it anymore.
So, keeping this in mind, let's learn about some of the best practices for Be Real.